Today we're talking about the biggest inside joke in the US military. Ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate form of protection, the reflective contraceptive, aka the PT belt, also known as the glow belt, depending on what branch you were in. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, I'm about to learn it to you. Ladies and gentlemen, when you don the PT belt, you will become bulletproof. It is rated to withstand RPGs, UAVs, SUVs, and STDs. You will become visible to everyone and touchable by no one. You will be the safest person on Earth. Or at least that's what you'd be led to believe if you knew how military leadership treated this piece of elastic. You see, they became extremely prevalent in 2004, originally intended to be worn with the PT uniform in early morning when running along the side of the road. And while that makes logical sense, even that was redundant given that at the time most PT uniforms were pretty much made out of reflectors anyways. But apparently visibility is like condoms, the more the better. And it would have been fine if they stopped there, but the military is relentless in its efforts to standardize absolutely everything. Needless to say, the PT belt just became part of the PT uniform altogether, regardless of the circumstance. You could be running on a closed track in broad daylight, you're gonna wear a PT belt. You could be working on a stationary piece of equipment inside of a gymnasium. You're still gonna wear a PT belt. And you know what? It still probably would have been okay if they would have just stopped there. But absolutely not. It became standard to wear a PT belt anytime you did anything that could remotely be considered dangerous. You could be doing a ruck march on a closed course in your combat uniform in broad daylight, you're wearing a PT belt. You could be mowing the fucking lawn, you're gonna wear a PT belt. Now, as I'm sure you can imagine, as a military member, you know, somebody that's responsible for being able to shoot machine guns, drive military equipment, fly helicopters, fly airplanes, sometimes sign your name to become financially liable for millions of dollars worth of government equipment, to also be told that you're not intelligent enough to not get hit by a fucking car inside of a brick building? It's a little upsetting. So troops began doing the only thing they could do. They made a bunch of memes and passive-aggressive jokes for 20 years about it. And those jokes have been made without fail every chance we've gotten. For example, when I went to purchase this exact PT belt from Amazon, I decided to read some of the reviews because I thought maybe there was some potential, and they did not let me down. I'd like to share with you my top 3. Starting off at number 3, rated 5 stars from a verified purchase. Wow, it's true what they told my friends at Basic. This PT belt not only makes cars bounce off of you, but it puts hair on your chest and provides an impregnable defense against friendly fire, enemy fire, and fire, as well as secures you financially for years to come. Great product. 30 people found that helpful. Coming in at number 2, again a 5-star rating from a verified purchase, titled Indestructible and Invincible. Quote, was on an easy 15-mile run and suddenly a bus ran into me going 60 miles an hour. Luckily I had my PT belt on and was unscathed. The PT belt saved my life, but unfortunately killed everyone on that bus. And coming in at number 1, the best review on Amazon for the PT belt, again a 5-star rating from a verified purchase, titled Saved my life. Was walking the land nav course at night and fell off the cliff on the northern backstop of the course. Luckily I had the PT belt in my pocket. I took it out and proceeded to spin it like a helicopter and flew back to the TOC. While en route, an Iranian surface-to-air missile locked onto me. Thankfully, my PT belt managed to blind its sensors, causing it to return to its launcher and convert to Christianity. 10 out of 10. Best belt I've ever had. Now that we're all in on the inside joke, what is the actual origin story here? Historically speaking, why does this piece of shit need to exist? I have 3 theories. Well, I have 2 theories and a conspiracy theory. Theory number 1, the Geneva Convention made America do it to make it fair for everyone else. Maybe. Second, probably the most likely, there was an actual unfortunate situation where somebody was struck by a car. There was undoubtedly multiple mistakes made by everyone involved, including the entire chain of command. Rather than address or fix any of the actual errors, they just said if he was wearing a reflective belt, it never would have happened in the first place. Because when you use military leadership logic, if one person shits their pants, everybody needs to wear a diaper for the rest of forever. Which brings us to my third theory, and I need you guys to hear me out. Remember when I said that we started using the PT belt in 2004? You know what else we started using in 2004? This fucking piece of shit. Yeah, 2004 is the year that we switched from BDUs and woodland camo, aka the Lord's flannel, the best combat uniform we've ever had, to the Army combat uniform in UCP, aka Digicam. Okay, are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? I'm trying to tell you that somebody at the Pentagon looked at this majestic piece of fucking artwork and said, wow, that's really nice, but you know what'd be better? If we all cosplayed as as fucking Minecraft characters. That'd be lovely. Fucking stupid. Okay, so what does this have to do with the PT belt? And this is where the conspiracy theory comes in. Leading up to switching over from BDUs to the new Army combat uniform, there was extensive research done to decide what the new camouflage should be. They took 10 different camouflages and field tested them against each other to find out which one was the best. None of those 10 in the running was the digicam pattern. None of them. After spending tens of millions of dollars to field test camouflage, they found that the best camouflage would be all over brush camo. It was a type of multicam. I don't think it looks better than woodland, but hey, at least it looks like you're trying to blend into the forest and not a fucking computer monitor. Then, after years of research and tens of millions of dollars spent, unilaterally at a high level, someone decided with no field testing we were going to use digicam instead. Which to me, in my super duper not expert opinion, kind of sounds like some senator or high-ranking politician stepped in because they thought that maybe, just maybe, their fucking kids should get the government contract instead. And obviously you don't learn a whole lot about camouflage going to private school and having college paid for by your parents, so they just came up with some random shit on Microsoft Paint and called it a day. Then, after the DoD spent $400 million outfitting the entire army in camouflage that doesn't blend into fucking anything, they decided to cover their ass by making everybody wear reflective belts on the outside of their camouflage so they could blame the belts as to why nobody's blending in. If you've actually made it this far in the video, thank you for listening to my super unhinged TED Talk. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out. Holy